Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome to a brand new series. We're going to play a little bit of Transport Fever 2. So we've played this a while ago and I thought we'd get into something a little bit special and bigger and more kind of campaigny but not quite campaign in this series. So let's get straight into it. Free game. Okay, a few things. I am playing with a few mods, not a lot, a few mods. So if you want to see what kind of mods I'm using, please join the Discord. The mod list is available there. So please do that. Then I'm playing on with a few mods, and one of the things is I'm also playing on the Megalomaniac's map size. So that's the kind of the experimental map sizes. In the description down below, I'll link a guide on how to unlock that in your game. Just bear in mind that you need a good PC to be able to run the very big map sizes. But as you can see, the Megalomaniac goes up to like 52 kilometers, which is pretty awesome. Okay, one of the first mods that I'm using is the extended terrain generator for the temperate regions. So that just gives you a lot more options in terms of how you're going to do that. So some of the things is I'm not going to mess around with terrain roughness all that much. Terrain height difference, maybe a little bit. Let's see if something like that, maybe mountain ridges, ridge main height, minimum height and maximum height. That's okay. I'm not going to deal with too much of that. Water quantity, I want to expand a little bit. I want a little bit more water quantity in the map. That's not quite the river system that I want. The river straightness, I'm going to do quite straight. To actually middle water quantity, or water quantity is probably about right. Some forks, yeah, absolutely, that's great. I do want some lakes generated. No, though, there's not one over there. Lake size is like fairly in the middle. I'm not going to mess with that too much. I want very little forests because we're playing on a very big map size. I don't want the forest to impede the performance. And then the timber line, I'm not too sure what this does exactly, but I'll bring it down a little bit just because I can. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to put my own map seed in here, ExactChaos. Okay, and there you go. So if you wanted to play along the same kind of thing that we're doing over here, that's your map seed right over there. So as you can see, it's the Megalomaniac size. It's 10.5 kilometers by 52.5 kilometers. I'm doing the 1.1 to 5 ratio. So it's this thin little strip there. I'm doing low density of towns and low number of industries. 23 towns is plenty, and all those industries is a lot. Okay, so let's get into it. So that's the one. If you want to play along, this is all you need to do so. Okay, so let me start that. I've got a few mods in there that you can find in the list. We'll play on medium difficulty. We will start in the year 1900, 1910. Something like that. I'm going to start in 1910 just because that's when I think most of the vehicles start coming in. If we can just skip the horses for the most part, that would be good. Most of the vehicles start appearing around this time, or the kind of diesel or petrol vehicles. Okay, let's start that. I think it's standard Europe is what we've got going on here. Let's start it out and see what's going on. This might take a while to download to load, so I'll see you when it's loaded. Okay, and the map is loaded up. That took a few minutes, so be very careful when starting on the Megalomaniac maps. It can take a fair bit of resources. So let's have a look at what we've got to deal with over here. It is absolutely huge. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. My goodness, we're going to have lots of room for trains around here. All the way to the bottom over here, and yeah, let's see that. We've got our rivers. They should be navigable. I don't think that's an issue. And as you can see, immediately you can see some other bits and pieces over here. That's one of the other mods that I've got on here. I've got the extended industries mod, as well as the extended demand, actually. So yeah, now you can see it only shows 2, but in reality, there's a number of things that's being demanded by each city. I think it's up to 6. So we'll have to see how that goes depending on the size, probably. Okay, another thing that I want to bring into this game as we pan across the screen, as I want to introduce the Exact Chaos Planning Commission to this playthrough, and if it's successful, we will extend it into other games as well. Okay, so that's the end up there. So that's a full 52 kilometers that we need to deal with over there. So what is the planning commission going to be? So I want to get this game as interactive as possible without kind of having a big burden on you in terms of watching it. So what we'll do is at the end of each kind of episode, we will have one or two planning decisions that needs to be made for our next episode. So that's basically going to be, so should we extend into this industry over there, or, you know, do we take the alignment via this town or via that town, something like that. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It's going to differ from episode to episode, but I would like you to get involved and help us build an awesome transport network and tycoon company, you know. Let's get rich together. The way you're going to do that is by leaving your comments down below, or by joining the Discord, where I will have a dedicated area for the planning commission to debate certain things and then vote on what we should be doing. Okay, so please join the Discord if you want to be part of the Planning Commission. Also, I would like to note that I am now a partner with Humble Bundle. And so if you wanted to pick up Transport Fever 2, please use my affiliate link above. It supports the channel. I do get a little bit of commission if you do that. It also supports charity. So so if you do want to support the channel, please go ahead and do that. Okay, now enough talk. Let's get into it. Let's see what kind of towns we have available over here. And I would like us to start with some of the bigger towns. Hopefully they're fairly central. I do also want us to start central. So let's go Thornbury. I believe is fairly low on the map, actually. Not that low, but it could be central enough. So Thornbury over here is potentially a good starting point, though we're right up at the rivers. The next biggest one is Westerham, and that's so this is like European names, and that's a fair bit away. And then Newton Abbot. These aren't too far. They're pretty far apart still. We can't actually go ahead and connect them straight away. Bexel-on-Sea, where is that? Wow, it's difficult to kind of navigate where we've got things going. I think this could be one of our very first routes. If we can start to connect these two together, that would be a good way of doing it. They're pretty big. They'll grow fairly quickly. So let's have a look. If we go out of here, what kind of industries can we set up immediately to help these guys out? So our demands here are pretty much everything. So anything we can kind of generate in the immediate vicinity will give us some form of starting economy, basically. Let's see. So there's not a lot directly around here that's going to be an easy one for us, though, because I wouldn't like to start a little trucking route. This could be interesting. That could be very interesting. Okay, so Thornbury we could quite easily connect this up over here. So let me just make sure that I understand this stuff. This is rocks, right? I'm not too sure what these things are. Stone. This is stone into construction material, as simple as possible, I think. And then we can go ahead and deliver that to Thornbury. They've got a fair demand there, and that will immediately start to generate a little bit of cash. Over here, we've got a livestock farm, which is not going to be very useful by itself. But I think this construction material piece over here could be a good starting point. So let's get that set up as our very first money maker. Ooh, and let me just kind of get a handle on it. Man, this town is looking awesome. I've got a few things in the mods over here as well in terms of road types and things like that. I wanted to make sure that we're in a position to do some nice towns and cities and things over here. This little thing isn't actually even connected up by a road. Okay. Well, anyway, what we want to do is let's get ourselves let's get ourselves a little station over here, building. And I've got a few different kinds of buildings, and we're looking after cargo. So that's a cargo station. Streets in line. I wonder if I've got stations in line or something like that. I believe but I think it might only be drop-offs though. Urban, country, not sure what that is. Oh, no buildings. Nice. So we can actually do roads that has no buildings. This is just the upgrade tool. This is maybe a waypoint. Yeah, absolutely. Stuff like that. So from a buildings perspective, we don't have much different stuff going on over here. So let's get ourselves a very basic little rural street over here. Or shall we go small street, medium street, small street, 20 kilometers an hour, 2 lanes. That's 40 kilometers an hour. So at least we'll do that one. So if we run that through there, that is in fact connected. Okay, but let's not do that over there. Let's start it as close as possible to this. Okay, so let's grab it from that side. We'll bring it in here. I believe we should be able to curve it, right? This is it. I think this is it. No. Yeah, okay, so that's going to curve it. I'm going to try and curve it a little bit like this. Wow, that's almost 100k right there. And then at the same time, I'm going to run a straight little section through here that we can tie up over there. Okay, and then we'll curve that road one more time. And we'll link that up. Okay, good stuff. So now what we want to do is we want to pick this up over here, drop it off over there, and then take that into town and bring probably nothing back all the way to there though. So that's empty trucks for a while, which is not going to be great, but we will we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's get our buildings in place. We'll get ourselves what's the rotate key? I believe can never remember these. I think it's, hang on, M and N. There we go, M and N. I can never remember. We're gonna try and get this a little bit further away. Okay, something like that is a good spot so that we don't have to travel too far. We're just gonna leave it pretty standard over there. Then it's gonna drop off and pick up over here, and we're gonna just do it quite central, just because we have to pick up and then go to the town as well. And then in town, we're just going to drop off where they have demand for construction materials, which will be all of these industrial facilities right there. Okay, so I'll just do a bit of a stop right over there. We'll grab the streets. We will connect these. Ooh, that's too small. We'll get the medium street. We'll connect these two up so that there's an easy turnaround for our trucks to go back. Ooh, we need a depot. So let's get a road vehicle depot over here. A little bit in the industrial area. M&N. Right over there. Actually, that's not industrial. This is industrial. We'll get it right over here. Tie it in there. That should be good. Nice. Now let's set up a line. Okay, so we would like a new line. Oh, and if you've got some advice in terms of what our line should be called, and the naming convention, please leave them in the comments. As part of the planning commission, you've got a say in how we do these kind of things. So please tell us what you think about a naming convention for lines. What's worked for you? And we will go over there. So it's just going to pick up the stone, drop it off over here, and take it in there. And I believe that should be profitable, even though we're going to have an empty route there. What we're going to say is you're going to probably wait until you're full over here. So let's say, what is this? Full load any, what? Full load all, full load any. Well, let's do that. And then over here, you're going to wait for a full load. And over there, you're going to just drop off. As simple as that. As simple as that. For now, it's going to be our, what is our town's name? What is our town's name? Oh, this is the thing. I can never remember. Oh, it's Thornbury. So it's going to be Thorn Construction Materials. And that is going to be road-based, right? Let's just do that. Or truck. It's the truck truck, train, road, rail. Oh my goodness. We'll do truck. Let's just do that. There we go. And it's just named. So now we've got our very first line set up. Now we need tons of vehicles to be able to do that. So let's buy a number of vehicles. What do we have available over here for cargo? Oh my goodness, we only have this little guy. It's 1910 and we only have that little guy available. Anyway, we're going to grab the DMG Kantstat. It's not very quick and it carries 5. I think we're going to need at least something like 20 of them, right? Wow, that's a lot of money. So let's buy like 20 of them. We'll do some maths on this stuff a little bit later. For now, we'll select all of that and we will set them to line, and there we go. So now I can actually unpause the game and we can start running. One of the things I'll also do is I will slow down the rate at which the date speed changes. But we will probably play it a little bit quicker so that we can see things happen. Okay, so immediately we should start seeing things arrive. Perfect. Lots of stuff is arriving. We're going to have a ton of this. So that's already so many. Okay, we'll see how we go and how many we need to add to that mix. So that's going to start our economy a little bit. Now we need to start planning what we're going to do in terms of our first rail line. I definitely want to do a main line with branch line kind of planning on this. So what we'll do is we'll try and run like a main line directly like north-south, and for the purposes of the game, the south part is here with South Molten. It is the southernmost town in our map is South Molten. So this is the south, and then the north is going to be all the way up here. So many little towns, so many industries as we fly through here. This is also going to be pretty cool for planes, I think, a little bit later. And I love the river, so we're going to be able to use the river also. Poynton with Worth. Yeah, that's weird. And Thirsk. So Thirsk over here is going to be our northern town. Actually, that was probably the northern one, but I'll say Thirsk because that's just easier for me to say. Okay, so that's going to be it. So we're going to have try and have a pretty large main line that runs north-south and then does branches to the various industries and things like that. Where are we? Is there another river split down here somewhere? Yes. Okay, here we go. So Thornbury over here. Wow, these guys are still going at it, picking up all of this stuff. Should be picking up full loads only. Excellent. Full loads, full loads, full loads. This should be they should be moving a little bit. I mean, spacing is what I'm after. Nice. There goes our very first truck convoy. We are now transport tycoons. There they go. Chasing by here. Nice and air conditioned, those cabins. Okay, so let's see. How much money are we making when the first one arrives over here? Just want to get a feel for that. And drop it off. Oh, that's not too bad. Now, can you get a full load pretty quickly? You can indeed. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Yeah, it's 1-to-1 ratio. So maybe that first one shouldn't have waited that long. That's maybe not right. We haven't paused the game. Okay, go then. Okay, fine. At this stop, just load any, okay? So this thing is a little slower in terms of producing, but anyway, we need to, yeah, I think we'll just get the first few vehicles through there, and then that'll start helping. It's not the most mountainous of terrain, so this is navigable waters. So yes, we can quite easily do some ships there, but there's some contours over here. So let's have a look. The contours are very mild, so it's going to be a pretty easy run for the most part of it, it seems. Yeah, could have probably done maybe a little bit more challenging terrains. But what we'll do is we will try and do our best to navigate around features and things like that. So something that I do want to set up is I want a passenger rail to be set up fairly early on. So that's the next thing that we're going to do. We're going to start the planning process for getting our passenger rail up and running. So at the moment we're not making any money yet, but hopefully that will start changing soon. Okay, so let's get our very first train station. We will start off with a passenger rail station. It's not going to be a terminal station. I don't like using terminal stations. We will do at least a 2-track. About 160 meters is just about fine, I think. Let's see. I think we can. Yeah, if we hold down Shift, it has a very small movement. So I would like us to do. I want to try and get this as close to the center of town without it necessarily not working. I don't want to start demolishing buildings because that is really pricey. So I want to get it very close to the center of town. This is not close to the center of town. Considering that we want to pick up residents more so than anything else, I'm tempted to actually throw it in on this side of town. Start something like that, and then we'll connect those roads together, and we will have to do our own forms of public transport in these towns in order to get them to work. 160 meters is what we're going to start with now, just so that they don't get too crazy in terms of length. I think that's about, yeah, that'll give us a nice straight shot. Well, we'll have to cross the river maybe over here, so we'll do it very a straight line across, so the bridge is very small, and then we'll go up to Thornbury over here, and then we'll see how we extend it from there. So I do think this spot right over here is going to be a good spot for our very first station. There we go. So now we've got a station here. Let's quickly fill out the rest of the streets here. Not the small one, the medium one is what's being used. We'll kind of tie that together over there. I'm tempted to get rid of that piece just like that, so that we can have room for the rail to extend. And one of the things I do quite frequently is I actually run a little set of rails in and out of the station as quickly as possible, so the town doesn't grow into that too quickly. And I try and keep it as straight as possible, just so that it kind of makes sense, just inside the town. Now, I also immediately go for some stations. So let's see. Buildings over there. Anything else over here? Maybe streets. Can't remember. Street modifications. Waypoints. Anything here? Okay, anyway, let's grab some buildings, get some of these. So I've got some of these things, which is slightly different use case stops and stuff that actually forms part of the street. Actually, if we place that in there, it can actually look quite nice. Let's do that. Let's try and make this look as nice as possible. I'm just going to pause it just for the second while we do this. Then I'm going to grab this. I don't want to spend too much cash. It does, in fact, connect. Can I get it as close as possible? Oh, yeah. Oh, it actually fairly well overlaps there. I want to do that. Right, so we'll do this, and then we'll tie in the rest of the streets there. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be our bus stop over here. I like it. I like it. Now I'll unpause the game again, and then we'll continue with some streets. Let's tie this in there. Good stuff. That's fine. We'll tie that one in there. That's okay. Not too bad. And then this will probably have to run extended down here. Let's try and get a straight line. Yeah, absolutely. Straight line over there, and no. I want a straight line. Something like that. So it's not perfect, but there we go. So now we've got a very nice little station over here, because we will have to do tons of passenger work over here. Okay, now on the other side, we would like to do a very similar thing. Hopefully, are we starting to see some money? Not yet. It does bring in a fair bit of money, and I'm hoping that it will slowly get better and better. I'm thinking, we would probably like to do it a little bit more north-south, actually. So let's do the same thing over here. Let's grab the building. Let's move it over here. We've got a bit of room here. We'll actually try and squeeze it in like this straight away. Immediately this town is starting to grow. Yeah, well, let's do that. We'll line it up with that piece there. Okay, there we go. Now let's get our street in place. We'll connect that up here. And we'll also kind of run it down in this direction, and we can tie that one in over there. Nice. So now, with that in mind, our earnings is slowly starting to pick up a little bit, but it's still negative. Now, trains, we'll get another train station over here. Again, it's not going to be a through station. I mean, it's going to be a through station. It's not going to be, okay, and I think that is about right. I like it. There we go. We'll get some tracks. We'll immediately extend those tracks through there so that the town growth doesn't bother our station too much. How we're going to make use of, we'll have to expand these stations later to get all the cargo vehicles and things in there. Okay, so there it is. That's our very first section. I'm not going to double track the whole thing, so I've just kind of left the room there. So what we'll do is now we'll try and get our alignment to go. Let's just zoom out a little bit so we just see generally where are we going. So we're going in that kind of direction there, and I'm trying to aim for a crossing maybe right over here somewhere. Okay, so let's have it try and get it pretty straight through here. It's about 300k up to there. Then we'll do another straight section. I don't want to get too close to industries, just so that if we want to branch, we can still do that. Now, let's run it through here. This is pretty flat though, so it's not too bad. Okay, now we'll do a little bit of this, and then we'll try and do a direct crossing through there, over there. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so if we have a look at this, right, we want to make sure this is navigable. So raising this up and down, ooh, that's too much. Okay, so let's bring that up to about, say, here somewhere. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to raise this so that we get it navigable. Can we? Even more? We can't. Okay, hang on. Let's cancel that. We're going to have to pull this back a little bit then. Okay, we'll do a little bit of work there, pulling it back. Now, let's see. Can we, if we do this, get this thing navigable? Up, 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 up. And if we move it further away, I think we can find a little spot here that's going to be navigable. Something like that is workable there. So we can get a ship underneath that. But that is pretty costly though. Anyway, we're going to need that so that we get ships to be able to get underneath here. And I want to check the other one. Oh man, that's much better. How much difference is that in cost? Not that much. I'm going to do it, and it's also the quicker of the two. Yeah, so let's do that. It's going to be better. Let's see if we pull that. Oh man, look at this. Look at that span. So now it's not even a problem. That entire section of river is not going to be a problem. Let's try and get it down a little bit over here instead. Yeah, just because we're on our way to town down there, and we need to kind of not. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it's obviously going to be more costly to do it that way. But the direct crossing is going to be a better angle of attack for us. If we bring, okay, yeah, that becomes more and more of a problem. something like this is probably about the best. There's a fair bit of room around that for the stuff to go by. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for that one. Okay, there we go. So we've got a river crossing there that can still accommodate all the boats that it needs to accommodate. We'll turn this way. Okay, and then we'll turn, well, we're gonna run, okay, and then we'll turn that way. Probably be, okay, let's just take it a little further away. No, maybe a little closer. So if we double track, it's going to double track on the other side, I would think. We've still got 120 running. That's awesome. In here, and let's tie that in over there. Good. Nice. We've got a full 120 running. Now let's do our connections over here. I'm going to tie that together. We are using catenary, so that's a little, let's see how good can we get this. Not much better than like 70 k's an hour, right? Around that connection there. Let's do that. We'll connect that up over there. We'll have to do a similar thing over here. And I am, there's a little, it's a little bit into the ground there. I want to tie it up actually on the other side. So let's pull this back a tad, and I know that's now wasting some of our money. Okay, let's get in there. Okay, that's fine. It's not ideal. And then I want to just tie this one in as good as we can. Okay, that's pretty decent actually. Okay, so there we go. So now we can start running our very first train. We can see a bit about a passing loop somewhere in the middle at some point. What I'm also interested in is a depot. So a train depot somewhere. And I'm thinking probably a little bit out of the way, but not too much out of the way. So something like this. Could even have it here next to the road. Doesn't have to be next to the road though. Something like that. 20,000 over there is probably about right. We'll do this right over there. That's going to be okay. We'll be able to use that. Now let's get some tracks going. So run it straight out of there for a little bit, and then let's tie it in. Doesn't have to be that much quicker than 60. So 60 like that, and I would like us to go in the opposite direction as well at approximately 60. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Now we've got our first depot connected, and we can have trains run in both directions. I'll do the public transport component of this straight away. Let's quickly have a look at our lines. I just want to see, is this line making money? It is making money, but we're obviously losing money at a much quicker pace than we're actually making it. Let's have a look. Is Thornbury doing pretty good? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we are seeing a bit of growth in Thornbury straight away. It should now be our biggest town by quite a distance. Wow, look at that. It's growing pretty quickly. It's growing pretty quickly. Nice. That's really awesome. Awesome to see. So Thornbury is going to be the hub of our centerpiece over here. Now let's set up our next line, and this is going to be a passenger line. I do like kind of getting a passenger line going as quickly as possible. It feels like it's the best way to get stuff going in both directions. Train lines. Hang on. What am I doing? How do I add a line? What? Oh, here it is. This is the new line. From there, Thornbury to over here. Find it. There we go. Thornbury to Bix Okay, so this will be, and I'm kind of thinking, should we name it as per the town, Thorn to Bix, all right, something like that. Passengers. Okay, I'm thinking that's the kind of idea. Thorn to Bix passengers. Also, I'm going to need. Well, it doesn't need signals at the moment. It's only going to be the one train. So we'll get that up and running. Let's see, what kind of a train are we going to grab? We're wanting a steam locomotive. Well, can we run electric? No, we can't. We don't have electric. We don't have diesel. So steam is the only option for us. We don't want to spend a ton on it. Ooh, look at that one. 60 kilometers an hour, 40, 50, 100, A3, 5, and that's like 3.7 million. We can hardly afford it as is. Power and tractive effort is decent, I think. Wow, it's double this guy in terms of power. But it's also more than double the price, and those are pretty cheap, 40, 50, 60. I'm thinking we need to do the PLM 220, just because lifespan is only 8 years. Really? Is the lifespan of vehicles only 8 years? That feels a little weird. Anyway, so that'll go 60 kilometers an hour. We could do 100. 100 would be better. The A35. Fast steam locomotive of the Jura Simplon. I think 100 would be really good if we can get the 100. So I think we're gonna take out a loan and do that. So let's add that one. We'll give it a nice. Actually, we'll not do that. We'll give it a nice color. And I've added a different color palette in here as well, so that from the mods, so that we have a little bit more to deal with. I'm going to start off with our very first train being like a little turquoisey color like that. So we'll add that one, and then we'll need passenger wagons, compartment cars. So we'll have to go with this one that's also 100. I actually didn't even check that. So we'll go with this one, 14. We'll not go too long though. So what we'll do is we'll just say like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. That's going to be a 56 capacity for us. And it's going to be good though. You fall into the trap of making your trains too long very quickly. That's going to make it mediocre. So maybe let's do 70 so we can stay with good. That is very, very expensive. So we're going to need to take out a little bit more of a loan. So let's borrow some more money. Up to about 8 million is what we're going to need. Okay, there we go. Now back to this. Here it is. And we will procure that vehicle. And we will, it's train 1, and we will set it onto the Thorn Bex passenger line. Okay, so there it goes. There it goes, the Thorn Bex passenger line. And it's going straight away to Bex instead of Thorn. Okay, now we need more public transport over here. So what we'll do is that's ultimately the thing that you need to bear in mind. So there's a public transport stop over there. We're going to have one right over here. Maybe something up there. Wow, there's a few cars around. Maybe something in here. Then what we'll do is we'll turn around and we'll come back into this direction. I think we're going to be pretty good over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some more money here. We need to recover it very quickly though. We'll have a stop. Yeah, maybe somewhere over here will be fine. And then the last stop will be over there. So we'll have a Thorn Local line over here. So let's set that up. It's going to start at the station. It's going to then go over here. Ooh, actually, why? So it just does a bit of a turnaround there, does it? Okay, that's okay. Then it goes there, then it goes there, and then it finishes itself off. Okay, so it's kind of a turnaround thing that it does over here. Okay, well, I'm not opposed to that. It's the first time I've seen that work, so that's okay. So we'll do that. We'll definitely have this be called the Thorn Local. And again, if you do want to make some changes to how we rename these things, Thorn Local PT. And that'll be 1, 2, 3 as we go, or those kind of things. Okay, now we need a little bit of a bus or something to run there. Ooh, this thing has grown quite substantially since we've started here. Now let's buy some vehicles for that. We want some passenger vehicles. I'm thinking that's probably about the best. So let's get about 4 of these guys, 4 or 5. Yeah, I think 5 of them maybe. There we go, and we'll assign these vehicles to Thorn Local PT so that we can get all of these people to the station as quickly as we can. Oh, there's some people on the train already. Now we'll need to go over here and do public transport on this side of things also. Again, that little station over there is quite an interesting one. First time I've used that, so anyway, that's okay. So what we'll need to do is I'm thinking we run public transport up here. In there. Okay, that's going to connect to pretty much everything. We'll do a stop right over here at the edge, and then we'll run down here, and that should pick up absolutely everybody. with pretty decent movement there. Okay, so now we'll go, if we started, let's start it over here. I'm just worried that, let's see, if we started there, okay, and in there, ooh, I don't like that. Can we change it to something else? Oh, it only has the one? Okay, that's an interesting piece. Then let's, how many people on that? Didn't see anybody on that. But our earnings are starting to look a little bit better. Let's move that to the other side then. The other, oh, well, actually we can, well, all of these are costing us money at the moment. So let's actually run, and now we are out of money. Let's borrow some more cash there. Hopefully we can turn a profit as quickly as possible. We'll run it, yeah, we'll run it this way around. We'll run it the other way around. So unfortunately, I didn't want to waste money with it like that, but anyway, that's okay. So we'll run it on the other side of the road. There. Like here, something is saying there's an issue. We'll have a look at that now. Over here, and kind of, why isn't these actually connecting? And maybe something like that, and then it's probably going to run that way around. So anyway, let's try that one more time. So Bix Hill on C is the first station, then we'll add the next one. Over there, over there, over there, over there. And it's still wanting to do that, so it's not great, but we'll leave it like that for now. Now, this name is going to be called Bix Local PT. Okay, and over here we don't have a depot just yet, so let's get ourselves a bit of a road depot going on. I do like moving to trams as quickly as possible. So we'll get, actually, let's use these areas that we have over there. That's pretty good there. Let's do that. Buy some vehicles. I'm thinking just 4 of these should do the trick. Actually, we won't be able to afford 4, but we will, because I'm gonna borrow another bit of cash there. So let's do 4 of these guys, and we will assign you to the Bix Local PT line, and hopefully that means we're going to get tons of passengers here. Oh, there's already a little bit more passengers over here. So let's see how our train is doing. It is absolutely chasing. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. I like it. There's a bit of a screenshot going. Okay, it's not making any money. It's got no people on board whatsoever, but it is traveling along at top speed. So the idea is now it will start picking up more people. Okay, there's almost no one here. How much is that? 65,000. Now it's picking up 23. That's going to be a little bit better when we get to the other side. Okay, so now I am starting to get to the end of the series, of the episode over here. So what is, if I'm asking the Planning Commission, what is the next thing for us to do? And I'll give you a few options. Okay, see, actually these lines are doing a pretty decent job, so I don't mind that. That's making a little bit of money. That should make money soon. And now the hope is that our first train line will start making money very soon also. It is picking up passengers. Wow, look at that. Tons of people wanting to get a little bit of public transport usage. So we may have to expand public transport over here. So the first question for the Planning Commission is, do we go ahead and build up public transport and the infrastructure within our currently 2 connected towns? Or do we start to look into further expansion into local industry or connecting an additional town? So focusing on our existing towns, adding more industry, or expanding our line to kind of catch up with another town somewhere. That is the first question for the Planning Commission in our transport company over here. We're doing a pretty decent job in this town, so I wouldn't mind seeing how far we can push that. And at the end of this series, this should be pretty big. Only 17 people on it this time around, but it's still operating at a very good speed. So I am thinking that that's going to be pretty good. How much do we have here? 34 people. So those numbers are starting to come up a little bit. We're struggling a little bit with the money at the moment, and at some point we will run out if we can't get a much more decent profit going. That train really needs much more people on there. Okay, so it's dropping off people. Oh, they're using their underground connections to go over to the other side to the station. So I am liking that quite a lot. It's 24 people over here. We just maybe need a little bit more vehicles on this. How much more can we do over here in terms of our loans? Not a lot. We can't do much more. So let's borrow another 500k. I'll pause the game so we don't lose that money while we wait. I'll grab 2 more of those kind of buses over here. 2 more of them. It's all we can afford. And I'll assign those to the Thorn Local PT line, just so that we can try and accommodate these people a little bit more. Look at this town expanding. Man, it's amazing. If we can only get this line profitable, and I think it'll be possible fairly soon if we have a decent number of people on there. Yes, our numbers are growing. So hopefully, if we go to the details, the finances, we're slowly starting to catch up over here. Hopefully this year, 1912 is the year that we're going to catch up with that. It looks pretty good. Actually, look at this. About 30, only 38 people. I would hope there's about 50 over here, actually. Maybe we can get 50 here in time. I like this station. Look at this. I like it. Waiting over there. There's no... Nice. People sitting on the roof. Look at that. Wow, with their top hats. I like it. I like it. That's really cool. That is really cool. So we're slowly getting more and more people over here. There's now 50 waiting, which is good. The train is arriving. How much money are we making over there? 1.2 million. Yes, I think now we are starting to see that profit that we were hoping to see. So let's look at those finances. Yes, I think now, because in the past years, so we know it will be profitable this year. Even if that train doesn't get there by the end of the year, but it should, we are starting to turn a bit of a profit, and we can start focusing our money and our attentions on something else. Okay, guys, that is going to do us for the first episode. Do let us know in the comments, in the Discord, all those things, what you would like us to work on next. How would you like us to expand this? So the options are, we're working to improve our towns. We are connecting up another industry, or we are, and potentially say what kind of industry you'd like, or have that discussion on the Discord, or we're going to move either to maybe Kirkham over here as a close one, or South Malton over here as the next connection. Okay, those are the options. I would appreciate it if you do join in. Hit that like button if you have enjoyed this, and subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the Planning Commission. See you next time. Bye bye.